Sachs and Chamath Palihapitiya, they were just saying, so they kept giving examples of tech companies that were laying off web developers like en masse. One of them said that they basically got rid of a third of their workforce because ChatGPT was able to do the jobs, was able to help the web developers to do their job more efficiently. And so basically their conclusion was, look, at this point in time, we don't think that AI is going to completely replace the web developer. What it is going to do is it's going to help the web developer 10x their productivity, which means that there's going to be less need for actual web developers because the AI can do a lot of that, which is going to increase the margins for all these tech companies. So tech, as you know, it already is a high EBITDA margin space. They make a lot of money because it's once it's like kind of set up, once the program is set up, it's very scalable. You don't have to add more people onto that. So I don't know. It's like, I understand the argument. Okay, well, yes, they're not going to actually help in the web development per se, but they're going to help build the AI products themselves. But I don't know. I still see like AI replacing a lot of the web developer labor as well. You know what I mean? Like, I think the AI will eventually start to just help improve itself. And again, neither of us are AI experts, and no one knows for sure. I mean, even Google, the CEO of Google, was talking about AI, and he even said himself, he's like, we're still learning about what this thing can do. They don't even know themselves the potential of Bard. So what do you have to say to that? Like, do you think that, so in the aggregate, that people that work on technology are going to remain more or less the same as AI comes in, or do you think that's going to diminish?
I mean, I think like so I'll take my answer in a bit of a weird direction, but the way I kind of view this is, in a way, for me personally, I like to stay on top of these things and these trends because I find it interesting, but I don't like to go too deep into it. And I think that, in a way, ignorance, the saying, ignorance is bliss. And that's kind of how I see it, because I can't predict the future and I don't want it to stress me out too much. I want to live in the moment a little bit more. And I think that I can make a really good living for myself. I'm just really the best at what I do. And so I think that no matter what path you choose as a career option, and it can always change over time, if you're really passionate about it and really good at it and you make yourself stand out, no matter what, you're going to make it work. And so that's how I kind of view these things, is that I see a lot of students coming in and applying for our courses or asking us questions, and they're so worried. Is AI going to take my job? Are there jobs out there for me? Can I, I don't speak French. Can I get a job in Quebec? Or what, like, everything is worrisome, and I get it. It's stressful to look for a job, and it's stressful to think that robots are going to take your job, or like you're spending all this money and time to learn something new, and you don't know if is there a demand for it in 5 years or 10 years. And the reality is like, most people are not smart enough to know. I don't think anybody could really tell you what the world's going to look like in 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
Some people are a little better at predicting than others.
It's like saying where the stock market's going to be. Like, no one knows for sure.
It's really hard, right? And so for me, I just think like, okay, why don't I just focus on the present and just be as good as I can be at the things that I'm doing and the things that I like to do, try and make myself stand out. And that's how I'm going to, choose to live my life, because I think that, trying to focus too much on the future and AI and the things that are going to come and kind of change the way we live are going to stress you out, and they're going to throw you off, and you're going to think every decision you're making is the wrong one because the future is telling you something different, or you read an article in Forbes that's telling you something different. So I think, in a way, we just need to start to own our craft a little bit more and know that it's okay that in 5 years we want to change again and do something different, or in 10 years we want to change and do something different. We could always relearn new skills. We could always do something different. We could change our career path. So why don't we just set ourselves up for success today with the information we have at hand, and do the things we like to do, and try and focus on living a happier, more balanced life. And that's kind of like my philosophy here. So I follow these trends. I look at them. I have ideas about them. but I try and just focus on the present right now because that's all I can really do. And I think like ever since I became a parent, I have 2 kids now. Both, I have a 10-month-old and a 2.5-year-old, and I have no choice but to live a little bit more in the present and not let all that future stuff stress me out, because I want to, be able to enjoy the time I have with them today. And so it's really changed my philosophy. It becomes really,
Having
really
children.
having children, it
Wow.
becomes really hard to, you can't work the same way that you did when your kids are really, really young. Some people can, but it becomes really challenging. And so you have to start to just live in the moment a little
Your
bit more.
priorities shift.
Your priorities shift. And that's the way I think that's a strange answer to this question, but it's the realest answer that I can give, because the reality is I have no clue what the future looks like. And so I choose to be a little bit more ignorant about it because it makes me happier today.